Hello, this is Anna Imagination. Welcome to Politics and Economics for Tired but Practical People. So, I'm huge on world solutions rather than bitching and complaining. I'm more about let's figure out what the problem is, the core of the problem, and then solve it. So, I just got done building a whole lot of educational courses, mental health things, and now I'm at the end of it all going, what am I going to do with my time? And I have the inspiration to put together politics and economics for tired but practical people. And this is an area or a space where I'm going to be covering everything from economics, politics, and parenting. And it's really simplifying it for practical purposes. And I get it. You're tired. You probably work like 3 jobs and you have 4 kids and you might be a single mom. I get it. And here's the problem. There are players. And the first player is the loud asshole. We all know the loud asshole. I grew up with a loud asshole. The loud asshole is the first player of our game. The loud asshole is the person who thinks they know everything about politics. They have no desire to teach anybody about politics, but they want to stand on their own soapbox and scream down at you about all of their politics. And you don't give a fuck about their politics. My brother was a loud asshole. And maybe, like me, at first, all you ever knew about politics was this loud asshole and everything he shouted at you. And then, in addition to the loud asshole, you also had probably maybe a husband who take care of all the finances. So then you had the enabler. The enabler is a really big problem. The enabler seems like they're helping out, seems like they're doing you a favor, seems like they've got their shit together, and then a couple things happens. Either they're smuggling money, and because you're so ignorant, you don't know that they're smuggling money. They've stored it all away, and suddenly you're sitting there with their kids, no home, no money. They've got all the money, they've got the attorney, and you're going, what the fuck just happened? The other kind of enabler is the one who truly does mean well. They think they're helping out, and then unfortunately they pass away. And you are at a point in your life where you're going, I have no idea how to do anything, because your loving, caring, but enabling partner took care of all of it. And you have no idea what to do. And then you have the other kind of enabler where they're impatient, they're frustrated, they're angry, and they just don't have the patience to teach you. So they just do it themselves. It's the, if you can't do something right, you got to do it yourself. Or if you want something done right, you have to do it yourself. It's those people. So you have the loud asshole teaching you politics. You have the enabler doing all the finances and the economy for you. And then you're stuck mostly taking care of the parenting without having any idea where you stand in the lineup of finances, politics, or economy. So I used to be in the situation where I knew nothing about economics, I knew nothing about finance, I knew nothing about anything. And now I'm a single mother living in New York City, and I have sold money on Wall Street. I know my shit. I have also owned 5 companies and 4 businesses, and businesses like, I love business. So one of the things that I love doing is taking really boring or complex things that are really important for everybody to know, like politics and economics, and condensing it down into practical use. And here's the problem. You're tired. You don't want to learn all this shit. But I love learning this shit, and then I love translating it and simplifying it for everybody else. Now, I'm going to be blunt about politics. I don't go by the noise, and we're going to talk about the noise because that's the other player in all of this. So you have the loud asshole, the enabler, and all of the noise. The noise is the crowd. It is social media. It's all the loud assholes coming together in the same space, screaming at each other. And that is not where you're going to learn about economics, politics, or anything. So this is where we're going to really break it down for you. Now, we're going to separate all of the politics, the economy, parenting, all of it from the noise, the loud assholes, and the enablers. And we're going to just shut the door, and it's just going to be you and me. Yes. I know, right? Take a deep breath. I was there. It was about 4 years ago, and I knew nothing about politics. I knew nothing about economics. I knew nothing about finances. I had an idea about finances, but I was struggling, and I had to start everything from scratch and build up. And I appreciate what it's like starting over, going, what the fuck is even going on? And when you try and ask someone, what the fuck is going on? Your options are social media or the enabler or the loud asshole. And that's not where you're going to learn anything. And what I really needed back then was somebody in this chair saying, so you want to learn about politics? You want to learn about economics? You want to understand what's going on? So this is what's going on. I am not going to give you any conventional definitions because it's a bunch of bullshit. It really is. And you can Google the shit. You can Google it. I've Googled it. It's fucking chaos. And it took me years to sort out. It took me a lot of, where do I even begin? And I remember spending a year off and on crying with my very patient, not enabling partner who broke it down for me and walked me through it very simply, and then at least pointed me in the direction where I was to go. And it took a lot of work. So we're going to break it down into 3 categories for you. Technically 4, but you're probably already familiar with the 4th, which is parenting. So we're going to go over this. The first one is politics. The next one is economics. And the next one, I'll be honest with you, I don't remember right now. And the next one is parenting. It'll come to me. Oh, yes. Social issues. Social issues. So we're going to break this down. Now, loud assholes are going to be very angry with me about this because I'm going to call out a lot of the bullshit. And I'm going to really point a whole lot of, this is the big picture. Now, I'm going to use as much science, history, logic, and fact as I possibly can. And I don't give a shit about any of it. So I'm not going to have any emotions. I'm going to talk to you instead of screaming at you. And we're going to break down these topics. And I'm probably going to do this over a series of whimsically whenever the fuck I feel like it, because that's how I work. But as things come to me, I will be breaking them down for you in simple forms. The first thing you need to know, so this is the introduction to, what did I call this? What did I call it? To politics and economics for tired but practical people. So here's what you need to know. Rule number 1, politics is a fancy word for ethics. That's all this is. We're talking about ethics. Now, I'm a philosopher of 30 plus years. Philosophy is the study of everything, specifically ethics. Like, it's all we do in philosophy is analyze the entire everything of ethics. So when I found out that politics was ethics, and then I was told that I was not qualified to talk about politics, I went, excuse you. You mean it's just ethics? Yes, politics is just the garbage word they feed you for ethics. What they're really arguing about is ethics. That's all. And a philosopher knows every little nook and cranny about ethics. So we're going to talk to you about ethics, and then you can step back and watch the political garbage if you want, and actually understand what's going on. And what's going on is they're all arguing over whose ethics is the right one to follow. Here's a cheat for you. There's 12 different ethics, and they're all right. But they don't know that. They have no idea. They have no fucking clue. The Republican Party represents the 3rd ethic, and the 4th ethic is the Democrat Party. The environmentalists represent the 6th party. The liberals represent the fifth ethic. See how this goes? And as we progress through all of the different ethics, the political parties shift and change and evolve to reflect all the different ethical perspectives that we've evolved through. No one knows about this shit yet. In philosophy, we know about the ethics. The next thing we're going to talk about is economics. Economics is nothing more than the psychology of scarcity. That's all it is. It's literally the allocation for how to share, produce, and distribute these scarce resources. Now, if you're really good at economics, then you won't have scarcity. If you're really bad at economics, you're going to have a lot of scarcity. The more scarcity you have, the more mental illness you have. Look around. There's a lot of mental illness. It tells you that the people running things right now are really fucking incompetent when it comes to economics. The people running the economic show are the political people who can't agree on ethics. Do you see a trend? Social issues are a really, really big part of all of this. But here's a clue. The social issues are a symptom of scarcity, economics, and also psychology and behavioralists. Well, behavioral programs, behavioral environment, behavioral everything. It's the entire study of behavior and how we all interact. So then you've got parenting, which is more of a micro subject, micro in the grand scheme of how all of this fits together. And that's where you come in, most likely, is how you are parented yourself and how you plan and or are parenting your own children. Micro means small or looking at a up close and personal to one particular thing, breaking down one component into multiple things. And macro means having that big omniscient point of view picture. Meso is analyzing things at an eye level, corporeal, tangible location. Now, when you take politics, economics, social issues, and parenting, and you combine them all together, what you end up with is sociology, which is a branch of psychology, which is a branch of philosophy. So I had an epiphany today where I went, you know who'd be really good at talking about political, ethical, economic, social issues and parenting? A philosopher. So this is the unangry space for political and economics, for tired but practical people to understand without loud assholes or enablers or the noise what the fuck is really going on. And we're going to be covering these 4 topics at random, all over the place, and in general. So thank you so much. And may the kindest of words always find you.